So you want to stay single file still, because if you try to go side by side, someone's going to end up crashing into the mangrove trees. And in the mangrove trees lives what's called a mangrove tree crab. So if you crash into the trees, naturally you're more than likely going to have one fall in your boat. They don't pinch or bite, they're just really fast. So if you go to pick it up to get it out of your boat, you got to pick it up and just throw it. If you go to look at it, next thing you know, he's up your arm, across your back, and then you lose him. You have no idea where you're at. I've gone home and have had them on my back before.
Wow.
If you want to see them, mainly on the left side, watch on the bottom of the prop roots here hanging down from the mangrove trees. That's where they hang out at. And since the tide's this low and we can see soil and see the bottom there, all those little holes mostly are fiddler crabs. It's a type of crab that one claw is bigger than the other. But there's a special crab called a mangrove root crab. So there's a tree crab and a root crab. So the root crab will have bright red legs and bright red claws. And they get to be pretty big. Most of the time we see them, they're about like that, and they're supposed to be really yummy. And watch out for those. Those are special to see because you don't get to see them too often. So take advantage of that. When we get around a couple turns here, I will flip around, tell you guys a little bit about the mangrove trees and the lagoon and all that. And when I finish that, things are going to get a little tighter. It's not going to be that tight because the tide is so low. It should be pretty easy for you guys.
Alright.
Last night, my sunset tour, when we went back there, it was high tide, and they had to lay down in the bottom of their boats to get into this area because of a branch that goes overhead. Today, we don't have to worry about that for this tour. Everybody's holding on to each other, so the wind can't just come in and blow a tree over because all of its friends are holding it down. And as they sit there, with every tide that comes up and tide that comes down, as the water goes in there, it slows down, so the sediment falls. So over time, that just keeps building up until it's as high as the highest tide. So they're really anchored in there really good. Also, by growing like that, they help keep soil erosion from happening. They keep coastlines intact. So they're very vital to this. That sound, it sounds like cars on a freeway. Yeah. That's the wind blowing through these Australian pine trees.
Wow.
It makes like that scary movie kind of wind sound. On the night tours, it's nice when it makes it extra spooky back here.
Yeah, me too. So.
Was it long?
It looks like a tiger.
Oh, a puffer. Yeah, it's a puffer.
Sweet. They get pretty big. Checkered puffer fish.
There's another one.
Hundreds of different types. called a tube anemone. They normally only live on coral reefs, but somehow one found its way back here about 9-10 months ago. Now it's forest, it's huge. I'm gonna see if it's out right now. When the tide's this low, usually it doesn't come out, but we'll check. Really, really neat. It's like pure white, and it looks like a white stringy wig in the water.
Wow, look, I see like 2 pufferfish right here. Guys right over top of it so you can look down and see it. Stop you first. I'm gonna bring her up. All right, your towel's gonna be in the way for a second. There it is, right there. Water's a little cloudy, but that was screw that up. But we'll probably be coming back through here again, and the water should be a little better clarity. All right, let's see if I ruin it for you. Hopefully the water's moving quick enough. Yeah, I should be able to get you to see it. It's going to be right. It's like right down. Yeah, I swear, Todd. There it is, right there. Like there it is. Like hairs on it and everything like that?
Yep.
Wow.
It's pretty cool. Usually that's one of the favorite things that the clownfish, the brown, the orange, white, and black fish, that's what they usually like to hang out around.
Wow.
Ocean inlets that feed into here. 2 are natural, 3 are man-made. And there are 5 freshwater rivers that also flow into here. So when you take fresh water and you mix it with ocean water, that makes this brackish water.
Oh, that's why it's this color.
Being where we're at, right next to the ocean, naturally, this is going to be saltier than an area where a river's flowed into it. So that's why we don't have alligators out here. It's too salty for them in this section. And other than being a lagoon, this is also what is called an estuary. And that's just a fancy word for a nursery. So you get the adult sea creatures coming in here, fish, every kind you could think of. This is where they give birth. They lay their eggs in here. They go back out to the ocean and leave the babies in here to grow up. It's protected, it's not in the harsh environment of the ocean. And when they're ready, they head back out to the ocean. Now there are fish and other things in here that live here permanently. So that makes this one of the most biodiverse countries in all of North America. Over 600 different aquatic species and over 400 different birds and land animals. That's a pretty large number. This estuary has a nickname known around the world as the cradle of the ocean. So it got the nickname Cradle of the Ocean because as far as estuaries go, or nurseries, are you doing all right? This one ranks up in the top 3 of estuaries that are vital to keeping fish populations up. The top 3 in the whole entire world. So this is a very significant body of water here. And a big player back here are these red mangroves. Without these, this lagoon wouldn't be here. Other than keeping soil erosion down, they also help to clean and filter the water, kind of like an oyster does. And as you look at the bottom of the prop roots, you'll see clumps of shells growing on it. Those are actually called swamp oysters.
Wow.
But that's not why the tree helps with filtering the water. It does help, of course, but the tree itself will filter the water. And that happens when they take in water. They will filter out 90% of the salt that is in the water before it enters into the tree.
Wow.
So the other 10% of water that it does ingest, it has to get rid of it or else it would die. So what it does, it takes that salt and pushes it out to the oldest leaves on itself. The leaves eventually turn yellow, fall into the water, returning the salt back to the water. So if you were to pluck one of those leaves and bite into it, one of the yellow ones, it'd be salty. That's the tree ridding itself of salt. It has nothing to do with temperature, season, climate, none of it. The Native Americans that lived here at first called these trees walking trees. And as you look at it and use your imagination a little bit, it kind of looks like stick people with legs coming off of the tree. And if you lived here, you would notice that it looks like it's walking out into the water. Well, that's how they grow. They do not grow tall. This is as tall as they get, about 20 to 22 feet. Instead, they grow outwards. Right now would be a good time that you would take your paddle and do the push forward thing so you can turn quicker. You will never, by doing this paddle to turn, you're not going to make it most of the time out of the way of the tree. You've got to do it from behind to turn your boat quickly. But you're doing good so far, but just keep that in the back of your mind. So like I say, they get 20 to 22 feet tall. Instead, they grow outwards. And as they grow outwards, the limbs get heavier, and then the tree starts putting down the prop roots that you see coming down. That stabilizes that branch, allowing it to grow out even further. If people were coming through here and the state didn't keep it pruned back, 10 years down the road, no more tunnels. Here there's a town called Sebastian. Sebastian has an inlet just like we do here. But the significance of that particular inlet is that is one of the main birthing grounds of the bull shark. The bull shark lives in this lagoon up to 9 years before it gets big enough to go out to the ocean. They'll be in here, they get a little bigger than me, around 6 to 8 feet before they go to the ocean. I saw a big 6-foot one last night. So they are everywhere in this lagoon. But luckily, there's also an abundance of food for them, so we are not on their menu. There are no stories that I could find of anyone being harmed, bitten, killed, or anything like that by them in this area of the lagoon. Up north, it happens once or twice a year, but that's usually up a freshwater river, because they can take fresh water, salt water, and brackish water. But they can be temperamental and mistake you for stuff. When I first started here, I weighed 50 pounds more than I do now. And I would ride in that boat. It was an evening tour when it's dinner time for everybody. And a thunderstorm was coming in. I was with these 2 young girls. It's like, we need to hurry up the paddle because, you know, thunderstorm's coming. We don't want to be stuck out here in it. So paddles are splashing the water because we're frantically trying to beat this thing. I'm in the clear kayak. My big fat leg probably underneath looked like a nice juicy fish. The shark was probably like, yeah, money. Something slams into the side of my boat really hard, and I thought I had landed on a manatee or a stingray. The shark wasn't even in my brain. And then it kept doing it. And then it would go to the other side and try to do it. And I can't see anything from its tail thrashing. All the water is just, I can't see, and I'm just hanging onto the boat. It almost flipped me over twice. All of a sudden I hear one of the girls scream out, "Oh my God, it's a shark, he's gonna die." Son of a bitch. That's what's getting me. So for about 15 seconds, this thing kept trying to get at the fish, my leg that was in that boat, and then it just gave up and left. Filled my boat over halfway full of water, and was still able to beat the thunderstorm in, with the half boat of water too. So that's a testament to those boats. Very next day, went out and bought a nice big dive knife, carried it with me every day until we started launching out of the park. All the big sharks are out where those bridges are. Well, that's where we used to launch from. And that's where it got me. And I'm from Ohio. I've only lived in Florida a little over 4 years.
Oh, okay.
And I had only been here a year and a half when that happened. So it was a nice welcome to Florida.
Yeah.
But it's cool. How many Ohio guys can go back home and be like, hey, I bet you haven't had this happen to you.
I know, right?
But again, it was just mistaken identity was all. Because my black shorts, he's not going to notice that, and then you see my white legs sticking out there, and it was the size of a lot of the big fish in here. That was quite interesting. All right, so we're getting close to where it's going to get tight. I'm going to have to flip around to get through there. Every time I try backwards, I get knocked off in the water, so I just gave up. I've only been able to teach myself backwards through here so I can talk to people. So as we go through here, go really slow if you have to. Watch ahead. Go like, okay, I'm going to have to move to the right a little, then to the left, and plan it out in your head what you're going to do with your paddle. This is a good time when you're going to have to do the behind and push forward thing. Look, I'm going to turn my boat completely around here. And then once you get to where you're almost where you want to be facing, then you start paddling normally. If you get stuck in the trees, remember, push water to the front of the boat to make your boat go backwards. If you get stuck and frustrated, just let me know. I'll come and get you. If you want me to, I'll walk you through there pushing your boat for you. I do it a lot, so it would be nothing to be embarrassed of.
All right,
But being
thanks.
this low, it's not going to be that hard at all compared to when the tide is up.
And what's the time the tide is up?
Oh, you're going to love it. It's a beautiful day.
You okay?
The water clarity will be a lot better too.
All right, cool.
More ibis on your left as you come through. Just below your knees, so you can see how much water is going to be coming in the next few hours. Way to get to it, it's too shallow. So we're going to go out to the inlet where we can maybe see some lemon sharks or some blacktip sharks. But they're only like 2.5, 3 foot. They're nothing big at all. They're just little sharks.
It's all good.
I had a lady that was just scared to death yesterday. She tried it for about 3 minutes and then went back to the boat and sat in it and chewed it with the water.
You should have gave her a hit of your vape.
Crap, I know, right? So back here with the crab, you would think that traditionally it would be the girls that are afraid of that stuff, right? Nah. People your age and younger, 18 to let's say 32. It's the guys that are petrified of the crabs, everything. You want to hold this hermit crab? Oh God, no. You want to touch this thing? Oh God, no. Girls are like, yeah, give it to me. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Nice little, that's all I did was stay in the boat, look at the crawdads. Anything else was fine. You think I'm nuts staying in the water? Aren't you afraid the shark's going to come and get you? You watch too many movies.
Yeah, no, right?
Too much Shark Week. All of that's dramatized to make emotion out of you. Sharks really aren't like that. He's dying. I swear they see me about to say, look at this thing, and then they go away. Alright, well that was the first part of the tight area.
Not bad.
Yeah, because the water's down so low. Water normally sits about up here at high tide. Super low. But we'll get remarkably tighter now. So going through here, if grabbing the prop roots to help pull you through is easier than trying to fit your paddle in, by all means, it does make it easier sometimes. And my offer still stands. If you need my assistance, just let me know. I won't go too far ahead of you guys. This branch is the limbo rim I was telling you about. We had to lay down in our boats last night to get under. When I laid down, I had about that much clearance from the limb. The water is sitting right here. Still see where the branches are at. Sometimes during king tides, water will be up and sometimes up and over top of this limb.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's really weird when you have drastic tides like this and I come back here and just see the level of difference. I mean, that's, shoot, 3-4 feet of water.
Oh, look, I see a little crab. That's cool. You okay? It's okay. Just grab onto the other one and just like take your. There you go. Take your time and do it. There you go. Grab onto the one in front of you. There you go.
Do it like the Native Americans did it. Alright, for you, I'm going to give you the secret to getting through here. I usually don't tell people because it's fun to watch them struggle. And it really gets them, teaches them more about their boat. If you look in the middle of your paddle, you'll see a button. If you push that button, you can separate the paddle and just have one small paddle that'll help you get through here easier. You'll notice it.
Yeah,
Did you take a picture of me in the boat?
I tried to.
Raced up just a little bit. Got another score almost right after we get back. You don't have to wear yourselves out or nothing.
Alright.
You gotta go a little bit faster. Big chunk of land used to sit up here. You used to only be able to get one boat through here, one at a time. It was this wide, and someone had to be going pretty darn fast and push this whole thing into here. I would hate to see what their boat looks like after this. This is a few tons of earth and roots.
Wow.
But it's nice because now we can just slide right on through without any problem. We're going to go through here, and we're going to go to our right. Yeah, when you look down, you see white, and that's where this used to sit. Last night, right out there, look, you wanted to see one?
What the hell is that?
It's a manatee.
Oh yeah? Oh shit.
I got you a manatee. Since it's super shallow, we gotta keep some distance so I don't want to freak it out.
Yeah.
Because that's all the deeper it can get right now. I don't even know how it got here, and I hope it's not stuck. Nah, it shouldn't be. It knows to come this way. I might just check to make sure it's not stuck. There it goes. It got itself undone. Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So right there, that is a manatee.
Oh, wow.
Watch, the water's going to want to push us that way. She's going to be coming right through here.
Wow.
She's going directly under my paddleboard right now. You see her? She's right here. You see the scars on her back where boats have hit her. Just about every manatee you see is going to have it. Yeah, you got to see her now. Now, by law, we're supposed to give her 50 feet. So just don't paddle right now. Let her do what she wants or run. She doesn't look like she's too stressed. She's going to go under your boat. There she goes, right behind you. So now do either put the paddle behind you thing so you can turn your boat around. Not only did you get a manatee, you got one up close and personal. I am very happy for you guys. That's awesome.
Is it still over here?
Yeah, it's heading this way. All right, it's now behind you to your left. Right behind you. See her?
Yeah, I see it now. Wow.
And then look, there's something else swimming out here. I don't know if that's a stingray or what. There's something out there swimming this way. It's in the shallows.